business, so it's a $2 credit. I have to spend it. So, but still, even him screwing up on his first day on the job, they're just people, man. They're just people.
So here's I have another headline for you if you want to react to this one.
Sure.
It says U.S. and this is from today. This is from today, Democracy Now, that website, which is very objective and thorough journalism.
Yes.
Which is a thing, actually, still.
It exists.
In some places.
Yeah.
Iraq claims progress in Ramadi. Can't see for shit.
Ramada Inn.
Yeah. At the Ramada Inn.
Yeah.
And I think is where they're making some progress. And U.S. says strikes kill 3 ISIL leaders. Trump's speech creates 30 new ones.
Is that what they said?
No. Oh. I made that last part up.
I believed it.
Yeah.
I believed it.
Yeah. It was very... it's because I'm a good news...
you did it so well.
Reporter, speaker.
Yeah. Hopefully we just killed 3. And did they mention how many of their children were nearby?
I think it was they were all at the same wedding party. I think is the way that works.
Who cares about the children? Come on.
Yes. I suppose one thing good about if you're bombing with drones, Muslim groups, they do tend to separate male and female. So you're probably less likely to kill innocent women. Because they're in the other room. But what else you got? How long have we been going here, Carl?
You've been going 46 minutes.
Okay, all right.
You guys are good.
All right. I feel like this show's been going a little bit better. We're wiped a little more rust off from last week.
Hopefully
so
we'll get there.
You ready to talk about the Golden Globes yet?
Educate me, because I know nothing. I think I think I saw. Is Inside Out? Is that nominated for something?
I think it is for animated. Yeah,
because I saw that one.
Yeah, excellent. Let's see. Here we go. Carol is nominated. Carol, Mad Max, Fury Road, The Revenant,
I did see Mad Max.
Room, and Spotlight. So I saw 4 of the 5. Carol is a lesbian love affair, but it's about what they have to go through societally. Mad Max.
Is that contemporary, or is that?
It's set in the 50s. It's okay, and it's based off a book written.
Mad Max is in the 50s.
Probably in the 2050s. Yeah. But The Revenant probably set in the 1850s or 1880s or so. It hasn't really come out in wide release. I think it comes out
at all. Yeah, I mean, they
must have. Did you see it?
No, I have to. I had a chance Wednesday. I couldn't make it, so they're going to show me next week.
Okay. Room, as I was telling you, is a very depressing story.
For Christ's sakes, get back to the lesbians.
Okay.
Is that a true story back in the 50s, or is it?
No, it's based off a novel.
Still delicious.
Okay. It's a novel based written in the 50s.
Gotcha.
And it's it's one of those things where you're like, not every lesbian is a knockout. In this case, we're forced to look at Cate Blanchett.
Not bad.
She's awesome. And who's the younger?
Rooney Mara.
Yeah, Rooney Mara, who was in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
I certainly didn't look away.
No, they're delicious.
Oh, you saw it? It was.
Oh, yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a little stodgy, but it's good.
Carl complained before they had to go watch it. I'm like, it must have been really rough watching Cate Blanchett make out with Rooney Mara.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure there's to me that's kind of like a fascinating topic, especially like in the 50s.
Oh no, it really is, because you see how society views them, how that's used against them. For instance, Cate Blanchett's character is married, is getting divorced, has one child.
One child,
yeah. And the husband wants her back desperately, and then once he realizes he doesn't want her to have the child. So he's using the lesbian love as bargaining chip.
Yeah.
So you see how a lot less freedom existed back then.
And I'm curious if there's parallels in the homosexual struggle between guys coming out of the closet and women coming out of the closet. Like, did those two kind of happen at the same time in society? Right?
Yeah.
Did one become more obvious before the other one?
That's a good question. To the best of my knowledge,
I want to timeline this stuff.
Yeah, that's
like I said. I think
that requires further research. I don't know as many.
We don't need facts on this show. How many times?
Well, I mean,
sound like you know what you're talking about.
I will say this: the known to me events are mainly male gays. So, for instance, it's called. It's not called Woodstock. What's the New York? There was a protest in New York. It's basically the police raided a bar, a gay bar, in the probably late '60s, early '70s, or mid '70s.
Yeah, okay.
And that was one of the first where they fought back. They really fought back. And you have actually a first gay pride parade was in one of the first ones. There's a marker in Hollywood near where I lived, where that took place. So a lot of events, but mainly I know about the male ones. However, there's another movie out that came out about 3 months ago that is Julianne Moore plays a policewoman who she's not about civil rights, but she's dying of cancer. She's met a young girl who's become her girlfriend, and she wants that woman to benefit from her her retirement package as a cop. She gets a certain death benefit. And at that time, the law actually would have allowed her city to just go ahead and say yes. But there was enough hate that they said no. And so the movie is a true story, dramatization of a true story. So that's definitely a little tiny part of the struggle. So are more of those parts of the struggle lesbian or gay? I don't know. But I would guess that they're actually gay, but I don't know.
Okay.
So there's that.
That's all I got on that. Maybe we could do some research and have some guests.
Sure.
We could really dig into that. That would be great. Anyway, what else? Golden Globes.
So Golden Globes drama. That's the dramas. The comedies are. Hold on. Comedy and musical are The Big Short, which is about
I've heard that's good.
Wall Street kind of thing. Joy, The Martian, which I did see. Spy, which I told you I'm starting to watch, and Trainwreck, which is the Amy Schumer. So don't know. I don't have a strong opinion on any of those.
What was the second one?
Joy, which is starring the leader of the Hunger Games,
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence, yeah. Some of the other movies that have nominated actors and actresses is the movie Brooklyn, which is a really good movie about a young Irish woman who comes to the United States in the 50s, having trouble struggling, fitting in, basically gets a boyfriend, ends up having to go back to Ireland for family business, and then it's a struggle, does she go back to America or not? And really enjoyed it, recommend it. Trumbo. Bryan Cranston got nominated for Trumbo, which is about Dalton Trumbo.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
A really good movie. It's about how he is struggling to. He is the top earning screenwriter.
Yeah.
And then he is blacklisted, and he basically tells Congress, "You have no right to ask me these questions." And what he should have done instead, later people who had to testify just pled the fifth, but because he didn't, he was tried for contempt of Congress and went to jail. And in the movie, there's a funny scene where he's in jail and he sees this congressman who is also now in jail for tax evasion. And the congressman says, "We're just a bunch of jailbirds now." And he said, "Yeah, but I didn't do anything wrong." So nice little line there. But he's great. So he's nominated for Best Actor for that. Steve Jobs was a good movie, but kind of a little too...
a little tedious.
Yeah, well, it was very, very fictionalized. They basically took all of his life and shoved it into 3 times. Gotcha. So each time
he's 3 product launches, right?
Yeah,
Those
that is correct. Yeah. So
it's a very creative way to do a Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the 5th Steve Jobs movie, and then I want to watch them all at the same time and
do a mashup.
Like, how many movies can you make about a guy?
Yeah. There needs to be a Wozniak film. They need to agree to make a Wozniak film before they make another Jobs film.
With Seth Rogen,
yes.
Wozniak.
Yeah.
He was good.
He was good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. By the way, weird anachronism. In that movie, Wozniak has gotten a new watch at one point, and he's showing it to Steve Jobs. So I decide I'll research this watch. The movie ends in like 97. The watch only came out a few years ago. And the watch is actually shown in the movie during the late 80s. So it doesn't even begin to make any sort of sense. And I just wonder why you would do such a weird anachronism. Anybody have an answer? I don't know. No. All right. That's all I got on that. I think it's been a good year for movies. Carl, professional movie reviewer?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty solid year. I mean, there's a few duds, whatever, but I think overall I was pretty engaged by everything. I think you're right that Spotlight's probably got an excellent shot at taking it all, and every critic, even if they're the highbrow type, is dying to see what they're going to do with Star Wars. I'm going on Tuesday at 4. I can't wait. I'll see it 3 days early.
Yeah, look at that.
But I mean, I was wondering what's up, so I don't know.
Also opening at the same time as Star Wars is Amy Poehler and Tina Fey's movie Sisters, which has got to be, okay, a bunch of people are going to go to the movies, and maybe people will go without getting tickets. I don't know. So they'll end up going to Sisters instead.
Yeah, well, I was surprised you didn't mention the one movie that I would think would really be after this right now is The Big Short. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, we mentioned it briefly. I didn't see it yet. I didn't see it yet, so I don't know too much. I know it has Steve Carell's in it.
Well,
he's nominated for that.
Pretty funny. It's very complicated. It's a strange script. I had a hard time following some of it because I'm clueless about these things. But I went with a friend who... Adam McKay, the writer-director, is an unabashed progressive, but the script got Golden Globe nominated, and I went with a friend who not only is Republican, but ran for office a couple times, and I thought he's going to hate this movie, and he loved it more than me. So, so he said it was extremely fair-minded, but it does indict everybody. That was a big mess, But that they were still fair about it, he could tell.
Yeah. I saw that Jane Fonda was nominated for Youth. Did you happen to see that movie, Carl?
No, I need to see Youth.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I liked it, but there was a couple parts that I thought didn't fit and didn't work.
I heard it's kind of random that it doesn't have a straight up conventional storyline.
Exactly. And I don't think Jane Fonda, she has this big dramatic speech and blah, blah, blah. I didn't believe it for 1 second.
Yeah, I've heard her criticized by others also.
Yeah, so I'm surprised she's nominated. But
she's nominated for what? Golden Globe?
Yeah, but the Golden Globes are always suspicious because they're nominated by a small group of foreign film critics or foreign journalists. And I know Carl had Thanksgiving with one.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, this guy was on the one of the people behind the scenes there at the top, and but I give him props. I said, "Hey, can you get me in to the awards?" Or and he was like, "No, there's an honest process. There's hundreds of people sign up in time, and you're not." And so I mean, at least on that front, they're. It seems like they play by their rules and are honest about not just bending favors to the critics. But I think that the Golden Globes, I think they're sometimes better than the Oscars because it isn't just actors glad-handing each other or performers glad-handing each other. It's, even if it's a small band of foreign journalists, they still are honoring things in a pretty interesting way.
And they're still giving awards to beautiful people.
Yes. Actually, the number one way to get an award is to be a beautiful person and then have yourself made up as an ugly person.
Yes.
That's like guaranteed. That's gold.
I mean, almost every it's the biopics now, right? That's.
Did Eddie Redmayne get nominated for The Danish Girl or not? I know the movie didn't, so I'm hoping it was just pretentious overkill.
Let me see here.
Was that about the girl?
He
that
plays
works,
a transgender, the Danish artist that wants to become transgender, and he's the first man ever to undergo the surgery. And
really? Wow!
It sounds like it should be interesting, but I don't know. It really isn't, and it wasn't any inherent. I don't have a bias about that issue or anything like that. It just struck me as kind of went on forever, and it wasn't that.
Yeah. Alicia Vikander was nominated for The Danish Girl. So that's she plays the wife of.
Was he not nominated? And
Eddie Redmayne was nominated as well. Yeah,
and that was the topic is the first transgender.
One of the very first, early on. Yeah,
man, that's what that takes balls.
It sure does.
To say that
sure does. Will Smith nominated for Concussion, which is probably the first time somebody's been nominated for a film about concussions. I'm pretty sure.
And a Rocky.
Right? Yeah, that's true. Rocky probably had some concussions. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got.
That's that concussion thing.